Urgent message.
You can't be vibing on a low frequency to attract all the things that you want.
If you're trusting, you're not questioning.
Manifestation, I think, is as simple as that.
Redirection is God's protection.
Ooh, I got the power. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gemini Soulcast. I'm your host, Rob.
I'm Sin.
What's good?
Back. What's going on? You know what today's topic is?
What is today's topic, Sin?
How easy it is to manifest.
I think this is a big topic for a lot of people who want to get into manifestation, and maybe they feel like it takes a lot of different steps, or you got to go through all these hurdles to get what you want. But I do think that sometimes manifesting is a lot simpler than we think.
Yeah, I think so too. And I love to speak about this because every time I'm around people or I meet people, they always bring up manifestation. I think there's people out here that are really trying to, make their dreams happen.
Right.
So
I'm one of them. I'm one of them with those questions.
But why do you... Let's talk about this. Let's just
Okay.
get into this really quickly. What is it for you that makes you think that sometimes like manifestation is difficult?
I think I've just been programmed to believe that manifestation only works if you work really, really hard.
Right.
It's like the grind type of thing. Mm-hmm. I wasn't really exposed to manifestation or getting what you want easily. I don't think it was something that should be easy.
Right.
It was like a mindset that I had to kind of unlearn.
Right.
That's what I was taught growing up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then now do you still kind of struggle with that old mindset?
I still do. Even though we've had these talks before about how manifestation sometimes isn't about just grinding it out, I have to catch myself from overworking or for burning out.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens. Or I get really impatient.
Right.
Because I'm like, I'm working so hard. Why isn't this happening yet?
Right.
I don't realize that it's because sometimes I don't have to let manifestation just be about work. Sometimes you just have to let it breathe and it will naturally take its course. But I have to unlearn that. And I'm still working on that right now.
So you got to reprogram your subconscious mind.
Yes. And it's not easy. It's not like I press a button and my mind just changes. Like for you, how do you do that? Because I feel like, I don't know, do you like just trust in the universe, or like what is your process with that?
I mean, I kind of relate with what you're saying because we're kind of like taught that, and depending on like your parents or like your family history, we're kind of taught that in order to get things, you have to work hard. In order to pay your rent, you have to work really hard. But I don't know what it is. Like my whole life, I just feel like, yeah, I do work and whatever else, but I don't think I have to work that hard to receive it, to receive the money or to receive an income, let's say. I think that in some ways I've always trusted. It's just like a knowing. Like I just know, like, yeah, the universe has my back. She's going to take care of me. I feel that what you're saying, though, like as far as like, I'm working hard and I'm like, why isn't it here yet? Why isn't it here yet? That is what you have to work on, because if you're in that mindset, you're not trusting. You're still in some ways believing that you're not going to get it unless you keep working hard, and even harder for it.
Right. And I feel like the harder that I try to work on it, the farther it seems to like escape out of my grasp. Because but it's something that I hear you.
Yeah.
Like I hear everything that you're saying, and it still takes a while to unlearn that.
Yeah.
I'm like, because you mentioned that you were kind of like that before too, right?
Yeah.
How did you just... What did it take for you to just be like, all right, you know what? Like, I'm just going to switch this mindset and trust?
I think that when I think back or whatever, it really came in like during my divorce. Because I was married to somebody that had that mindset. Like, you have to work hard. You should be going for a safe job. Everything was about safety. And to me, that was his fear. thinking like, well, if we don't do all this, we're not gonna make it. Like when we get old, we're not gonna make it. And I'm thinking like, what do you mean we're not gonna make it? Like we're living life, we're here, we're doing well for ourselves right now. Like, and imagine, like I was making good money, he was making good money. So what was the fear really about there? And then when we like separated, I just remember him saying like, the first thing he said was like, well, you sure you're gonna be able to take care of yourself by yourself? Oh. And I was like, yeah, don't worry about me. Like, I don't know. I just felt like it's gonna be fine. I got this. And even now, still, I just feel the same way. Like, well, everything always works out in my favor. I say that a lot now.
Right.
Because it does.
Yeah.
I have a strong belief in that. Like, I believe in God. I believe in the universe.
Right.
Jesus. Jesus is my guy. But I believe in all of that. And I think it's just you, like, knowing, like, this already. You know these things. You have to trust more. So when you're in that mindset, oh, I'm going to have to do all this, or you feel a little panicked about it, or you get a little anxiety around it because you're going against that trust, or what is that, and you do know the universe has your back. This already.
Yeah.
You got to, like, really tap into your self-awareness in that moment, though.
I have to.
You have to get to the point where you, like, regulate your nervous system and just, like, talk yourself off the ledge, man. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Or talk yourself into jumping off the ledge and knowing that the universe is going to catch you.
I think that's probably the bigger one for me, is like being able to take certain risks. Because I'm somebody who I suffer from analysis paralysis.
I think we all do.
Right? Like, okay, I don't think I'm the only one, but it's not. Like, where we have all these options. Maybe I want to do this activity, or maybe this will help me in my life, but there's 5 of these options, but maybe I'm limited on time. I can only do this summer. Then I get into this mindset of, like, I don't know which one to choose. I don't know what is best for me.
Right.
But I think what you're trying to propose is more so, just relax. Know that no matter what decision that you make, once you take that jump and that leap forward, universe got your back.
Yeah. I think that, a lot of us overthink too, and we're thinking we're missing out on something. I'm going to make the wrong decision, and then I'm going to be on the wrong track. Or I'm going to get off my path. Or I'm messing up what I'm trying to manifest. No, that's not true. You're always exactly where you need to be.
Right.
Right now, we're exactly where we're supposed to be. There's no, I'm never going to get there and whatever else. Or like, oh my God, I'm 52 now. Because, it was our birthday the other day. I'm 52 now, and I haven't been on the radio, so it's never going to happen. That's not true either.
Right.
And I'm not going to sit here and lie to myself, because I know it's going to happen. But
right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I like how you take the pressure off of yourself. I think a lot of us put too much pressure on ourselves to manifest or to get all the things that we want at a certain time, when really there is no time and there's no one way to get it done.
Yeah.
We're so stuck on that.
Yeah. Kind of have to, like, change your mindset on certain things.
Yeah.
And for example, I'm just going to bring up 2 little examples. It was our birthday, and in our birthday week,
Yep.
I manifested 2 different things. I did. So I have an SP. I have an SP.
Yeah.
And
it's not me.
No.
Trust.
And it's not Rob, y'all. It is not Rob. I have an SP. And, we've had our ups and downs and whatever else. And I totally manifested him coming to my house on my birthday with flowers. And it happened.
Yeah.
Shout out to my SP. And and it was just like the perfect ending to my birthday. Like, And then, like, a few days later, we were going to a restaurant, and y'all know my favorite, Anthony Ramos. He's going to be on this podcast, yo. I'm manifesting that too. I go to a restaurant that he owns with his brother and a friend of his. I just remember telling Jade, like saying to Jade, like, I'm totally manifesting him being at the restaurant the day that I go to celebrate my birthday. And It just so happens I went there and I went a little earlier and whatever else. And what happens? I walk in there with my best friend. We sit down at the table. I didn't even notice him. She noticed him. And he was sitting there eating. And guess who got her second photo with Anthony Ramos? Got the whole happy birthday shebang. Like me. I totally manifested that though. Like I pictured it. I'm going to go to this place and he's going to be there. And he was there.
Right.
And then I realized, man, and I was saying all week too, man, I'm really good with my manifestations this week. But that's because I kind of like detached from it and was like, yeah, it's just going to happen. It's fine. I don't have to like think about anything.
You trusted.
Fully trusted. And it just came in. And it has a lot to do with our mindset. You know what I mean? And how we perceive things. And
Totally. But I feel that too, because I think sometimes like, and everything that you're mentioning too, it just feels like by you trusting and knowing that it's already going to happen, when it does happen, it feels very magical.
Yeah, it feels really good. But that's the whole point, because even if it's the smallest thing, like if you get excited over the smallest little thing, like, you know, and I know a lot of people feel like, you know, oh, this person texted me or, you know, whatever. Let's just say, you know, you get a big audition that you've been waiting for. You actually feel good in that moment, like, oh, wow, I got called for this. All right, great. I'm going to get ready, and you're prepared and you're like excited to just do the audition. That energy or whatever, just being open like that is just going to keep bringing more of that.
Right.
Because you feel so good.
Yeah.
And that's why they speak about the joy and the happiness, because that's what makes it easier for these things to come into you.
I think that's a big part.
Yeah.
I think part of that mindset shift is the frequency has to change.
Right.
You can't be vibing on a low frequency to attract all the things that you want, because if you want to bring something from your dream state or from up here down to the earth, tangible, you got to go up to that level of frequency.
Yeah.
And you got to feel that joy. It's almost like if you feel good, oh, wow, I feel very happy that I got this audition, or I won this award, or I got this promotion. You want to feel good about that.
Yeah.
So if you're already in that state, you're already in the state of receiving.
Right.
Fully. Versus you being like, oh, I get the audition, and then you get nervous and scared about the audition. Like, oh, what if I mess up?
Right.
Then you're already, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure at that point.
Yeah.
And then when you do fail at that, then you'd be like, oh, see, that's why I failed.
Yeah, and then you're looking, now you're looking for a reason to prove that you're right.
Right.
You're looking for that.
Confirmation bias.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But we overthink, and we know we overthink. That's the thing, too. So it has to be like us deciding, like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm done overthinking. I'm done thinking I'm not worthy. I'm done thinking, like, I'm never going to get this big role and whatever else. Because if I don't get this, I look at it now, and I try to tell people around me this, too, is like, if I don't get this, that means something bigger is coming for me. Mm-hmm. There's going to be something way bigger that I didn't expect. It's going to happen.
Yeah. You have to believe that. And I'm glad you're mentioning all that, because I feel like even though we talk about these types of topics, it's not the first time we talk about this.
It's not.
We still need a good reminder.
We do.
Even now, I needed to be reminded that even for a day like today.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why. I'm not at my 100%.
And that's okay.
And yeah, that's okay too.
Yeah.
I have to allow myself to realize that I might not always be 100% of the time.
Right.
But if I know that, I'm overthinking, if I know that my emotions and that are the ones that's leading me to whatever the outcome of my manifestation is, I have control over how I react to life.
Right.
You know, so, and life will test you.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
All the time, you know, so if you know that you can control your emotions, you know how you can control how you react, then you are 10 steps ahead of somebody who doesn't know that, and you'll be able to manifest in a much faster rate and a much easier way too. Manifestation, I think, is as simple as that.
Yeah.
To be honest, you know?
Yeah. And you got to believe in you.
All right. You know what time it is. It is affirmations of the day.
And we're about to. I'm going to say this is the affirmation of the day. You saw how quickly that card just flipped over.
Popped out.
Oh my. Oh God. It goes perfectly with our episode. I trust my inner wisdom. That is the card. As I go about my daily affairs, I listen to my own guidance. My intuition is always on my side. I trust it to be there at all times. I am safe. Gotta trust in that intuition, man. It's totally guiding you. I know I've said it before too. It's our inner GPS. And a lot of us, we know things, and what happens, we go against our intuition. We start getting anxiety. We gotta kind of like surrender into what we know. I'm gonna say when it comes to trusting your inner wisdom, just like, don't be so combative. Welcome it, because it's literally guiding you onto the next step, whatever that may be in your life.
I love that.
Yeah.
And with that, back to the episode.
You have to believe in you. So like, even if like, say you want that part, right?
Yeah.
You want to go all in because you're thinking too so positive about it. Like, yo, I'm going to rock this audition right now. This role is going to be mine. I'm sure you've done that. And then next thing you know, they call you and you're like, yep, thank you. And you're like, hey, I got the part and whatever else. And you're like, yeah. And you feel good because you felt that way from the beginning.
Right.
You went into it with such great energy, like such a positive mindset and a lot of trust that it was going to be yours.
Right.
Same thing with a job. If you want a job, you gotta like rock that interview. You know, you gotta go in like, yeah, this is about to be my job. Right?
As though you already have it.
As if you already have it. Like, you just have to be positive too, that you can do it. You know you can do it, and you're the best person for it. Gotta go in with that mindset. Now, if you go in, and granted, don't get me wrong, interviews can be nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah.
I totally get it. But you got to go to bat for you. You got to look at it like that. You got to go to bat for yourself.
You have to.
And when it comes to love, you still got to go to bat for yourself. It's got to be you first and then them. And that's where we get it wrong a lot, because we make it all about the other person.
True.
And then there's people that, you know, feel like they're never going to find love because, and every guy or girl that they meet, they're so fixated on, I'm going to get what I want now, I'm going to get, and they try to force it, or they try to make it that person the one, and this is it, and this is it, and then when it's not working out, they're wondering why. Oh, but every time I try to get with somebody, they're not the one. No, because you're forcing it, and you're not looking at yourself like, they should be happy that they're able to talk to you.
Right.
You gotta switch that mindset too.
1,000%. You know, we give away our power by doing that.
A lot.
All the time.
Urgent message. Urgent message.
Huge urgent message, because you can hear literally the siren going right through our specific street right here.
Yeah.
Welcome to New York City.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? But it's
1,000%. Yeah. I feel like, you know, I'm at the age right now where I either see people getting married or they're just fully single. And I think there's a very big pressure that we put on ourselves, those in our late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, that feel like, oh, the next person that I meet might be the one. And so we look at dating almost like that.
Yep.
Like, okay, this next person that I'm going to meet, what if they're the one?
Right.
We put all that energy into that person. And when it doesn't work out, we start thinking, is there something wrong with me?
Right. Right away, we start questioning ourselves.
Right. Once again, we put all that energy into that person, and when it doesn't work out, we get burnt from that. And then we think, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Instead of being like, wow, as you mentioned, what an honor, what a privilege that they get to spend time with me.
Exactly. You got to look at it like, I'm auditioning you. Do I like you? Do I want to be with you?
Right.
Can I see a future with you?
Right.
Not the other way around. We always like, oh, they don't want me? They don't see a future with me?
Right.
It's like, what?
and even if it's not like something bad, like, oh, they don't want you. Sometimes you're just talking and you both just feel like it's not a vibe.
Right.
And maybe after you go on a couple of dates with multiple people, you still don't feel like it's a vibe. Then you're like, am I just not dateable? Am I just not lovable?
Oh, wow.
Am I just not compatible with people? Am I just meant to be single forever?
Yeah. Wow.
That's a real mindset that people have.
People are going through it right now.
People are especially going through it.
Waters are murky out here, y'all.
They'll be swimming in these Hudson River waters.
I don't know what to tell y'all.
It's true.
The waters are really murky out here.
Oh, yeah. All I can say is that, better wear a life vest. You better...
I don't know, man. You better, go swim in the other direction by
Right.
yourself.
But that's the whole thing, is that we start feeling that maybe I have to just swim this by myself, and maybe I'm not lovable. Maybe I'm only meant to be alone.
Right.
Which is a very depressing mindset.
Very depressive.
And I understand where that comes from.
Yeah.
Especially when you go on date after date and you're like, why isn't this working? But I think this echoes back to what you said earlier, which is that you have to approach dating with that mindset of joy, that mindset of, wow, I'm excited. I get to go on this date and they get to spend this time with me.
Right.
This is an amazing time. Instead of being that, what if they're the one? What if this doesn't work out? I only have the 2 block hour of time. Please don't waste my time.
Yeah, and I kind of feel too we put a lot of pressure on ourselves too. Like when you are dating and that person doesn't text you back right away, or they don't call you back right away, or, whatever, or they fall short on certain things, you kind of have to look at that too. Like, well, if this person's telling me that they're going to take me out to dinner on this day, and then they just dropped the ball and never hit me up about it. You know what I'm saying? And then they come back like, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, I forgot or whatever, and I'm going to do it again. They're showing you who they are.
Right.
You also have to look at it that way too.
Yeah.
They're doing things just as much. You thinking is you, but let's just take a look at what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, back it up for a second. Back it up.
Because right away, it's true. It's like a huge assumption that, damn, they don't really like me because they keep saying they want to take me out, but they don't show up for it. Like they haven't done it or whatever else. Doesn't that tell you a lot about them? Do you know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at what they're saying.
Right.
They're the ones who keep falling short. You're not telling them hey, take me to dinner. They keep, offering, and then they just drop the ball.
Yeah.
That's what you need to look at, instead of assuming that, oh, they keep saying they're going to take me out and, I guess it's me. No, it's not you.
Right.
Majority of the time, it's not you.
Right. And in those moments, say when they aren't texting you back in those hours, a lot of us, we feel that anxiety.
Yep.
And because we end up putting so much of our attention onto that person, instead of just, all right, if they're not going to text us, they're lost. Whatever.
Yes.
I'm going to still do me. I'm going to still live my life. I'm amazing.
Yeah.
It's hard to make that shift.
Yeah.
It is hard.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's easy.
Yeah.
But if you're recognizing a pattern when it comes to your dating life, or the type of people that you are dating, who is coming into your life, and you're spiraling with every person that comes in, you have to look at what it is within you that needs to be changed or needs to be healed, because it's not them at that point.
Right.
I feel like it's you.
Yeah. 1,000%.
I'm just saying.
Right. You got to look into yourself and be like, and I know we just talked about how a lot of times it might not be your fault. It might, but yeah, there are situations where you have to be like, okay, let me focus on me because I need to.
Right.
I need to work on myself so that way, when I'm back out in the dating pool and I'm communicating with so-and-so, I'm not letting my old habits sabotage this relationship or block me from manifesting the perfect ideal partner.
Yeah.
A lot of times we block that. We block ourselves.
We do.
Not just in dating, but in anything that we want to manifest.
Yes, 100% we do. With our mindset and what we think about ourselves mainly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And always making an assumption in the most negative way. When things aren't going our way.
Right.
That it's us.
That is us, or the world is against me, and woe is me.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's definitely a lot.
It's a lot. Like, that in itself is already exhausting. It's exhausting already to have to beat yourself up. So don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Don't. And I'm going to say it again. I know I've said it on this podcast before, too. That other person, too, has their own life, their own lessons, their own journey. And a lot of times, it really has nothing to do with you.
No. They got to move on their own. They have their own life that they got to live. They got to learn their own lessons.
Right.
You might not be a part of that. Most of the time, you're not.
Right.
In the rare chance that you're both this soul, you have the soul connection, you have a soul contact with each other, yes, you're here to learn from each other. Every connection is, every relationship is.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that they got to do on their own.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you got to do on your own. And they're not here to save you. You're not here to save them.
No. So you just have a little bit more grace and compassion for yourself.
I think that's a big one.
Yeah.
Having grace and compassion.
You have to for yourself, man.
Yeah. It's very easy to beat ourselves up.
Super easy.
Don't do that.
Stop doing that.
A lesson learned, if there's anything else that you take away from this podcast episode, is to don't beat yourself up. Have more grace and compassion.
Yeah, because the self-sabotage is real.
Yeah.
And I know I've done it. I've
done it
sure
too.
You've done it. There's a lot of people that do it. And again, if we're not in our own corner, how we expect other people to be in our corner? You know what I'm saying? If we're sitting here speaking badly about ourselves to other people, they're going to start like thinking of us in that way, or thinking that they can do things or take advantage or cross boundaries and all types of stuff. They're not going to take us seriously. We got to like set up our boundaries. We got to stand in our power too.
You have to.
No matter what, without fear, without thinking, you know, like, well, I'm going to mess this up if I say something. No, you got to be vocal about it, man. Your feelings matter.
Right. And that comes down to trust.
Yeah.
If I trust myself, then I trust that the universe has my back.
Yep.
It all comes down to you.
Yep.
Whether you are right or wrong, you're right.
Yeah. So again, if you're thinking like, and I know that we said this, like how we feel like we're doing it wrong. Manifestation.
Yeah.
But it really comes down to you, your mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like how you perceive things. The trust is huge. And just detaching from it. And knowing if you're trusting, you're not questioning.
Right.
If you're trusting, you're not going to question anything. No matter what is showing up, which is most of the times old manifestations. That's what's playing out right now in our present moment.
Whew. I love that.
It's the truth.
It's true.
Old manifestations.
That's
things that
right.
we manifested are playing out right now in our present time, present moment.
Yeah.
And we have to kind of be self-aware and kind of look at it, you know, and catch that and not react so much to it. And how do you change it? Change that mindset.
Right.
Right now.
I was about to say that. Change it right now in the present moment. Because those old manifestations that are happening right now doesn't mean they're locked in forever.
They're not.
You have this moment right now, right here, as you're listening to this podcast, to change that mindset and to manifest right now.
You have the power. It's all within you. Don't forget.
I got the power! Dun, 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 dun.
So do you have any closing words for our audience today?
Sure. Look back on your goals that you wrote for 2025, because right now it is the midpoint. We're halfway through 2025. Can you believe that? It's crazy.
I can't believe it. That's crazy.
It's already so fast, right? So look back on all those goals that you wrote down. Look at those goals that you feel like you've already accomplished. Maybe there's some goals that you haven't yet. Don't beat yourself up if you haven't finished those goals yet. Look on the positive side on how much progress that you've made so far, how far you've gone. And if there's certain moments, for example, if you're looking at these goals and you're, oh, wow, like I have not even taken a look at this, or maybe it's because I haven't changed my mindset on that. Well, this is the opportunity to do so. You've written these goals down. Maybe some of these goals have changed.
Yeah.
Look at it with fresh eyes now, and in the present moment, take action. And sometimes taking action is as simple as changing your mindset and bringing joy into your own life. So that'll be my little message.
Yep, tap into that joy, and you're gonna see how all these things start to come in for you.
Definitely. Do you have any parting messages for our listeners?
I'm just gonna say it one more time, man. Just believe in yourselves. Trust in yourselves. Trust in God, universe, source, whatever it is that you believe in, whoever you pray to. If you trust in them, watch how all these blessings start to come in. And there's gonna be things too, I'm just gonna say this too, that you may want right now. And, you know, everything that you want isn't everything that you need. Let's not forget that. Let's just not forget that. And sometimes redirection is God's protection.
Ooh.
Oh, just saying.
Wow. You spin bars here.
I'm just saying. Those are my parting words.
I love that. So, with that being said, thank you everybody for listening to another beautiful episode that we have here. Once again, my name is Rob.
My name is Sin.
And this is Gemini Soulcast.